Hi, this is Brian Aligno Live. Again, I'm making a video. Naghimo na si kong video kay I was very interested and I enjoy watching the interview of Mayor Esco Moreno of Manila as interviewed by Karen Davila. But to be honest with it, I did not enjoy watching and hearing that because of Karen Davila. I enjoy it because of Esco Moreno. Mayor, kudos to you. You're one head of a mayor. And one thing I admire with Disco Moreno is his line of thinking, his line of thoughts are in tandem with President Duterte. The law is the law. At ang iyang yung interest is um, ang mga tao sa Manila. I mean, that's a public servant that uh, I would appreciate. Now, let's talk about Karen Davila. Ako ang ako nahibod nga aning Karen, well, I can understand kay kanis Karen, he has always that yellow-minded kanang personality ba. Kana bang, I'm not saying anything bad against Karen, no, that's her job. Pero ang kanimo gud ako namatmunan giting Karen, number one, she does not see the light at the end of the tunnel. She's always focused on the darkness of the tunnel itself. Now, and number two, she has always that penchant in trying to cut off kanang iyang interview pareha ni Mayor Esco Moreno, iyang i-cut off while he is explaining sa iyang first question. And really, I admire Mayor Esco Moreno na she is not being swayed by the tactic of Karen Davila. He continues with his interesting answers to the question of Karen Davila. Kunya, the funny thing is, makakita ko sa expression ni Karen Davila, again, with all my respect to Karen, magpiro-piro ang mata ni Karen, unya, di na siya, ang iyang focus, iyang mata is no longer, so kanang nga, strong kay siya belief sa iyang mga question, doon na siya murabag, somehow mura na gani siya o nakamat ko na siya kasi is not on the right track. Kay may believe ko manuba kaning Mayor Esco Moreno. And then kani mo na ako namat muna ni Karen. She wants to create a problem where there is none. Oh, kanang iyang mga question, line of question ni Esco Moreno, ang style mo guna ni Karen, she always try to put words in your mouth. But Mayor Esco Moreno, being an intelligent person that he is, and a man with conviction, Karen Davila did not succeed in doing so. Kanang makatawa ko, kanang bang, she wants to kanang iyang ipiton si Mayor Esco Moreno, niya magsigilag smile si Mayor Esco Moreno. Kay the question is simple. Niya, like, excuse me, kung ako in the same manner, ako is Mayor Esco Moreno, it's so simple. Ang imo lang is, what is in your heart? Nga eksakto, nga concern sa mga tao. You can always answer all those questions. Nang muhisgot si Karen, nga di ba kuno health hazard. All the artificial beaches, even in foreign countries, are using dolomites. Okay, makatawa bita ko kaya ko someday gusto ninyo. You want the Manila Bay to wallow in filth? Kanang mga basura just like before? What you may angal sa una unsa man ning pubida. But now that the administration, in which case is trying to clean Manila Bay, is trying to rehabilitate Manila Bay, in which case, excuse me, Mayor Esco Moreno is thankful because according to him, that is our job being done by the our national government. So, thank you for that. So, gagin, I will question again sa health hazard. Mula gina akong ingon, si Karen is always trying to find problems where there is none. Ang nakadaot mo gud ni Karen, Karen, you know what's wrong with you. You're concentrating on the hazards, on the danger that you think, which are not there. They explain na sa DNR, na ay mga engineer ang DNR, nga, kanang ilang gibutang diya nga dolomite, that's 100 times bigger than the ordinary sand, meaning to say, it will not float in the air as dust. You know that actually, ibaw ka, honest lang, Karen knows that, but she's just trying to create negative kuan ba, niya ka ng mga environmental questions. Ako, I think the kanang gihimo ron sa atong gobyerno sa Manila Bay, parihar po na before sa Boracay. Nga, bang, at first, ang critics, magsigig, kalabihan ng mga yellow tards, magsigig panaway, murabag they're always saying the problem out of these things. But in the end, well, the government has proven itself. Ako, para nako, ikaw gimudas gobyerno, all it takes really is a heart for the people. But kung ikaw sa critics ka, it's all right. Again, I will say it again. Kung ikaw critic ka, fiscalizer ka, or whatever you call yourself, for as long as your concern is real, for as long as your concern is not motivated by personal agendas against the government, against Duterte, then fine. Pero nakadaot mo you're always trying to insinuate something bad on what the government is doing. Ako, kanabitang yung nga ang kwarta kay pandemic. Ingon si Mayor Isko Moreno, that has been, sa dukat 2 years ago, that it has been discussed with the right agencies of the government. Ilan na nang istoryahan. Unya karon, ilan na nang gipalihok ang proyekto. But again, I would like to tell Karen nga, dahil Karen, you know, ug ang atong hisgutan and concern ni Duterte sa mga tao during this pandemic, it's there. As a matter of fact, pagka kaning budget sa DNR, gihangyo ni Duterte ang DNR, can you give or leave something for the people, for the national government to use for the pandemic? And right there and then, DNR allocated at least 10% of the budget. That mga billions ang ilang gihatag, give back to the national government for that purpose. And I think that being Karen, being a reporter, I know you know that. Sometimes mo God, what's wrong with you? Kay you tend to kanabang selective mo ba in your questions, in your arguments. Kanabang you try to ferret out the negatives, and that's what you're expressing. And the positive side of what the government is doing, inyong i-omit. Sometimes intentionally siguro. Now, ikaw as a reporter on Karen, I'm not saying anything bad against you, pero ang mayon ta nimo as a reporter, just be truthful. See good where there is good, and see bad where there is bad. We welcome that. The netizens will welcome that if that is your attitude. Kung nakadaot mo ko nimo, mula gina, I will say it again. Instead of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, you are concentrating on the darkest part of the tunnel. That is what's wrong with you, Karen. And the funny thing is, in your own program, bisag kung saan mo tuyok si Mayor mo Isko, katawaan lang ang Isko Moreno, ikaw mo, Karen, you think you're so intelligent, you can sway the opinion of other people, ang tubag sa imong interview, pwede na mong ituyok. You cannot. Isko Moreno is intelligent enough. Batang Manila si Isko Moreno. He knows. Kanang mga kabuang des Manila, he knows. So di na mo tuyok-tuyok. Kung baga si Isko Moreno ay tubong Manila. And he is not ashamed to say nga basurero siya sa una. Hibaw siya sa tanang kabuang sa Manila. Muna, niya magsige kagyapon ga-insist ng mga kanabang ang effect sa kuan kanang sanggunian sa Manila ni approve ana. Ako, I'm not the government official. I'm just an ordinary citizen, Karen. But I'm going to tell you this. Before any project, kung ikaw tarong kang presidente or whatever, like or government agency, before you start a project, number one, you have to examine the legality of all these things again sa national government, sa local government, sa lugar nga inyong gitrabaho. Everything. Kaya pa kas consequence kung di ka masayop ka na. Before you start a project, ako, I'm not a lawyer, I have never been a government official, but I understand. Before you start any project, Karen, you have to seek, doon naman mo yung mga legal, doon, mga legal panel, you know that. Isko Moreno, why are you so bitter about the project when in fact the mayor himself, Isko Moreno, is thankful to the national government? Now, ang ako lang, I want to ask you this, Karen, and all the other who are opposing the rehabilitation of Manila Bay. Which would you prefer? Manila Bay nga daghang tae, daghang basura, na yung mga patay nga mananap, nga ang mga tao ingnon ang ilang mga ayaw mo pangaligo diya because it's dirty, or karon nga gitangtang ang tanang basura, gilimpyo ang Manila Bay, and they are even planning to put kanang water contamination, kanabang mo measure sa contamination sa tubig to be sure nga safe ang tubig. So the people of Manila can enjoy, the tourists will come to Manila. Gi-explain na nimo, anak nimo, ni Mayor Isko Moreno. Nga, the benefits, ang inyong na ang, kuan mo ba, mayupik, ay mo, mental, kuan ba, kanang inyong attitude ba. Kaya ang inyong you always want to put down Duterte, niya mo nang mayupik, ay mo, you don't see the bigger picture. Ang ugma ba, ang mag-explain ng Isko Moreno nga, our children, the next generation, will come to enjoy what our lulos and lulas were enjoying before. Pareha ito na sa Pasig River, gilimpyuhan sa administration. Kung sa netabo, as a matter of fact, ang mga mangingisda, makakuha ng isda sa Pasig River. Because it's clean. It's now environmentally clean. Kunya, ang marine life is beginning to sprout again. Sa mga inyong gusto, pareha itong unang presidente nga ang ang Pasig, Labayan ug Sagbot niya magpalitato yang puniton. Duterte and Mayor Moreno is not like that. They are sincere and they acted with their conviction for the good of the people. Kuna, ako karon makatawa ko, honest lang, to Karen Davila. I admire Isko Moreno and I find it very funny nga ikaw, your reactions, makita man ano mo sa TV, kanang ang imong mata ba, you can no longer kanabang, you know, you are now on the stalemate position, ang imong mata magpiro-piro, kunya, murabag, maklaro nimo ba nga ikaw, you know, nga wala ka na stalemate na ka sa mga tubag ni Mayor Isko Moreno. Muna, so, that is, actually, Karen, I can understand that is your job. Pero the way you do it, sometimes, honestly lang, mairitar ang maminaw ni mo. Nakadagang, you have that penchant of trying to humiliate kanang imong gi-interview, parang Manny Pacquiao. Nga, I remember, imong giingnan nga, sang-ayon ba ka, nga dapat ang government of na should be kanang dunay kurso na graduate. And being the humble person that he is, Pacquiao told you, yeah, I'm getting into an online school. Pero muna nga sa imo siyang gihimo ni Pacquiao, Karen, I would like to ask you this question. You compare yourself to Pacquiao. Pacquiao has achieved a lot of things better than you. So I hope, Karen, na this will be a lesson for you. Na Isko Moreno taught you a lesson. Next time, when you interview, be fair. Your questions should be based on fairness. Dili ka nang doon na ba i-insinuate against the government? Mura na akong ihanggo ni mo niya. Mula kina, I enjoy those in that interview with Isko Moreno and Karen Davila. But what I find distasteful really, to be honest, kanang mo kung lang the way Karen does her interview, kanang iyang i-cut short ang explanation sa interview kanang iyang insultohon, and then di niya pa explainon, kay iyang iram sa baba sa iyang interview ang iyang gustong i-project during the interview. Karon, I think Isko Moreno taught you a lesson. Nga, what you're doing sometimes, muna nakatawa ko kay na stalemate mo ko kaday Karen. Ang imong kuan basta na lang mura nagpataka na lang ka, basta lang ka maka-question, but actually you lose. And Mayor Isko Moreno was smiling all the time. Kana kung maklasyas interview ko, that's very simple. I'm not trying to brag ba, pero kung ang ikaw, public official ka, you did not do anything wrong, you're honest with your job, you're doing it for the people, those questions are very simple to answer. You cannot put a good man down, remember that.